Hey y'all, welcome back to Looks by Nahima, and I am Nahima. Today we're going to be testing out a bunch of new makeup products, but specifically the focus of today's video is going to be on the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundation. People claim that this foundation is the best foundation on the market, especially for drugstore. They claim that this is super full coverage, lasts all day. So we're going to be testing to see if those claims are correct. But most importantly, we're going to be testing if this foundation is deep skin approved. So if you want the answers to all those questions, keep on watching. Hey y'all, so we're just gonna hop right into the video, and I have a bunch of new products that I'm gonna be testing out for you guys, but the main attraction is gonna be the new Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. I have mine in the shade 370 Deep Bronze, and I decided to go with this shade because in the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, I am 370, and I also heard that the Superstay might be like a half a shade deeper, which would actually work out perfectly since my skin has gotten a little bit darker since I tried the Fit Me originally. So we're gonna be trying out this, but then I also have the Master Chrome highlighter, but I have mine in the shade 200 Molten Topaz. I've been recommended this highlighter so many times, and I can't wait to try this. But we also have a really cute new brush set to try out. So a bunch of new products that I'm gonna be trying out for you guys. Again, main attraction, this foundation. Okay, so I think the only way to really test out the longevity of this foundation is to use my primer that I always use, which you guys know is my favorite, the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. And I'm gonna use half my face with the primer and half my face without the primer, so I can really see, is the primer helping out? Does it need a primer? You know, so we can really test that out. So I'm gonna do the right side of my face with the primer, and the left side I'm just gonna leave bare. So now I'm gonna go right ahead and go in with this foundation. I think I'm gonna start off with one pump and see what that gets me to, but I think realistically I might have to do one pump on one side and another pump on the other side, but let's just see what kind of coverage we're dealing with, because I'm pretty sure the claim is that it's full coverage, so we shall see. Okay, and then since this is a new bottle, sometimes it takes a couple of pumps. Okay. So it looks like that is one pump of the foundation. I think that's a pretty decent amount. That's how much I usually go in on my foundation. So I'm just gonna scoot the mirror a little bit closer to me. So I can really see what I am dealing with. So I'm gonna start off by putting the majority on this side of the face with the primer. Okay, and then right off the bat, I think the color match is looking pretty good. I'm seeing like neutral undertones that lean towards the more golden side. And the foundation seems to have a pretty moussey texture, which I like. So I think that's a good amount for that side of my face. I have a little bit left on the back of my hand, but the majority of that one pump went on this side. I'm gonna go in with this more kind of angular foundation brush. This brush is like super soft, and I like that it has like a little bit more of an angle, so I can really get into the crevices of my face. So I think what I'm gonna go in is dip into a little bit of product left on the back of my hand so it can help me glide on with the rest. And let's get into that. So far, it's looking like it really does have that coverage that people are always talking about. Okay, so as you guys can see, this half has foundation and this half doesn't. So you can kind of compare what kind of coverage you think it has. My thoughts initially is that it glided on super easily. That could have been the primer's help, but I think this foundation is really smooth, really moussey. I really like the color so far, but I just don't think it has like that super full coverage that everyone was talking about in regards to this foundation, but it's nice coverage. Like I really like how it's looking. It's cute, the color is nice, but I guess I'll see really how it looks on my complete face. So yeah, we're just gonna go in with one more pump of the foundation on the left side of my face, and then this side, remember, it does not have primer. So we're just gonna dot that all over my face like I did the other side. just like blend it out on this side of my face, I will say I'm starting to see the coverage. Like now that both my face, sides of my face are covered, I would say it's definitely like a medium to full coverage, leaning more on the full side, but I wouldn't say it's 100% full coverage. If you're like a full coverage queen, I would say if you like medium coverage or medium to full, like this is going to be your foundation. And I also like that this foundation, this is not the deepest shade. I'm pretty sure they have 2 more shades deeper than this. I think this is really good so far, but we're really going to test how it really works out today, because we're going to be doing 2 check-ins, possibly 3 check-ins, so we'll just have to see. I'm definitely thinking 4-hour check-in, 8-hour check-in, and possibly maybe a 12-hour check-in. We shall see how I feel later on about that, but we're really going to be testing the longevity of this, so I'm just going to go ahead and complete the rest of my face, and I'll come back and show you guys how the final look looks. So this is how my final makeup look ended up turning out. I love how it is super matte. As you guys know, I have oily skin, so when I hear matte and when my skin looks matte, I love it. So if you are a fellow matte lover, I think you'll really enjoy this foundation, as well as if you have oily skin, but we're really gonna see the test of that when we do those check-ins. But I just wanted to also let you guys know that I did test out a new setting spray today, and this is the Scandinavia Makeup Finishing Spray. It's the oil control setting one, and I've heard good things about the setting spray, so we're also going to be kind of testing to see if this helped out this foundation. But also just keep in mind that this side of my face does not have the primer and this side does, so we're going to kind of see how those interact today and see if the primer ended up helping it or if it performed better without the primer. So this is kind of experiment for both of you guys. I've always wondered if primer really helps, and I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, like, do I have to use a primer with this foundation if it's so like matte and full coverage? So we shall actually see together. So keep on with those check-ins. I'll be doing 2 to 3, so if you really want to see how this works out with oily skin, keep on watching. Okay, y'all, this is gonna be my first check-in. I originally put on this foundation at around 10:30 a.m. this morning, and it's a little bit past 2:30 now, and I would say I think it's held up really nicely. I looked in the mirror, and to be honest, I haven't told a difference between the side that does have primer, which is the right side, and the side that doesn't have primer. You guys can tell me if you see any differently, but I, to be honest, think they look completely the same. I think so far, after 4 hours, both sides have held up really nicely. The only part that I would say has worn down a little bit are like these sides of my nose where like my glasses rest on my face. It's kind of worn off a little bit there, but for the most part, most foundations kind of wear off on the sides of my nose, so that's not really a huge deal for me. It's just the rest of my face, I'm kind of just seeing how it holds up. But so far, super matte. The coverage has been great. I've been outside in the sun all day filming another video that you guys are gonna see, but it has held up really nicely, and I like it so far. So the real test is gonna be after 8 hours to see if there's really a difference between these 2 sides. So stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so it's now just before 7 o'clock, so this is gonna be my 8-hour check-in. It's gonna be the last and final check-in as well. And I would say overall, I think this foundation wore really well. Just as a reminder, this is the side without the primer, and this is the side with the primer. And to be honest, I don't see that big of a difference between the 2 sides. The only thing I could say, if I'm nitpicking, is this side is a little bit more textured, a little less smooth than the side with the primer. So it does have me wondering, like, what does a primer really do at the end of the day? That might be a future video to test out. But overall for this foundation, it wore really nicely. It's super matte, super full coverage, has really nice coverage. And the only thing I could say, again, if I was being nitpicking, is that it is not transfer proof, but as far as I know, it doesn't claim to be transfer proof. So I think it's a really good foundation. So to answer the question, is it deep skin approved? Yes, I would say it's deep skin approved. So that'll be it for the video. If you guys like this and would like to see more deep skin approved videos, please be sure to leave a like down below. That'll let me know that you guys want to see more videos like this. And I loved filming this video, so I'd love to film more videos like this. And be sure to also subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when I do have future uploads. I hope you guys enjoy this video again. See you guys next time. Bye.